got one more thing to tell you. The blue spaghetti is kind of plastic in nature. You found it? Where did you find it? That's right. So actually, if you look past, so this big thick line, if you look down there where the skinny lines are, so what happened was when they were putting these places, when they were putting the lines in, this place, somebody looked at it and went, hey, that kind of looks like spaghetti. And so this section of the property is known as Spaghetti Valley because of the name. Okay, so those of you who are interested in getting a snack of spaghetti, I'm really sorry. I tricked you, and I'm sorry. Okay, so all trees have sap, but it's only the maple tree that has the sugar content that we want. So how do we tell a maple tree from all the other trees? And the obvious answer is the maple leaf. But, I was going to say, did you realize that Canada put the maple leaf on their flag? Yeah. It's as if we're telling the world, we have maple syrup. Now the thing is, Canada, Quebec primarily, but Canada is the biggest producer of maple syrup in the world. Because of the soil and because of the trees, because of the climate, and because of the length of the season. The length of the season, that's why we're able to produce the most maple syrup in the world. So here's the thing. Leaves are a great way to tell a tree from other trees, but there are no leaves on the trees in the time. So in January, when you're going out to try and find which one's a maple tree, the leaves aren't there. So you need to figure out a different way to figure out which one is a maple tree and which one isn't. So there are two ways people who know what they're looking for look. They look at the bark. The bark on a maple tree is unique. Then the way the branches are grown off of a maple tree is also a determining factor. So people who know what they're looking for will look at the bark and the branches and be able to say maple tree. Now, if you can't tell, because to be honest, I can't tell. So use my method. If you can't tell from the bark and the branches, use my method. And my method is the maple trees are the trees that have the blue tubes hanging out. So now look at the trees with the blue tubes, and now look at the trees without the blue tubes, and compare them, and see if you can tell the difference between the bark and the branches. Now here's the problem. If the tree does not have blue tubes, it still might be a maple tree, because a maple tree has to be 10 inches in diameter before you get to put your first hole in it. And then you have to wait until it's 15 inches. So every year after that, you put one hole in it. Once it grows to be 15 inches in diameter, you put 2 holes in it. And then every year you put 2 holes in it until it's 20 inches in diameter. Then you get to put 3. And then after it's reached 25 inches in diameter, you can start putting 4 holes in it every year. Now, why do you wait that long? Well, if you try and put one in before 10 inches, you're not going to get much sap. And if you try and put more than 4 in, you're still going to get the same amount of sap you would have got if you put 4 in. So there's no point to doing more, okay? And it's more, conservation for the tree.